Xin chào everybody. It has been a long time, and so long time it seems that I have forgotten how my intro goes. So, hello, welcome to Evil GM Plays the Binding of Isaac Afterbirth Plus live stream, and I got some good news for you. I'm well, some people might remember I got the D6, and also I'm also accepted as part of the TubeCon membership thingy. So, what does that mean? I don't know. I guess I'll be part of their YouTube co-op whatever thing. But hey, that's not the main reason why I wanted to chat about. Holy fuck, there's a fire there and I didn't even notice. So I wanted to talk about Ducktales. Ducktales. And before I start talking about Ducktales, you might be thinking, what's the... Well, what was this Ducktales about? Well, maybe this refreshes your memory. Bum 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 ba-dum ba-dum. Life is like a hurricane here in Duckburg. Race cars and airplanes. It's a duck blur. Might solve a mystery or rewrite history. Ducktales. Woo! Ba-ba-da-ba-ba. Every day they're out there making Ducktales. Woo! Disney, please don't sue me, will ya? Ducktales, woo! The danger, what's behind you? There's a Disney right behind you. But to do something that better, Ducktales, woo! Bop ba bop bop. Every day they're out there making Ducktales, woo! Bum ba bop bop bop. Hey. So, before I talk to you about DuckTales, I want to tell you about the whole DuckTales history thing. Because you see, if you're new to the whole DuckTale things, it's just another show. But for me, it's completely something new. Because, not new, there's a whole history to it with me. Because, you know, when it all began in the 80s, in the old 80s, where Finland has this, Finland has several. Oh, hi, Mark. Welcome to the stream. So Finland has this, has had ever since the even older than 80s, comics about Donald Duck. Yes, Donald Duck has its own comic, and I don't think... I know that Finland... I mean, US has a comic that tells about... has Walt Disney comics, but I don't think Finland ever had those. Finland mostly had Donald Duck. When it's all about the big name, it's always... Oh yeah, Mark is this old meme from Tommy Wiseau movie. Never mind about that, Mary. Yeah, I was saying, yes, as I was saying, Finland, the big name is Donald Duck. They also have Mickey Mouse nowadays, but Mickey Mouse has like its own separate comic series and whatnot, but you know, it's damn it, why did I take that? Was saying something about... Come on, give me a battery. Nope, no battery. Yes, Mickey Mouse has his own comic book novel compilation of stuff, but it has never been a big thing for me, and I don't think it has ever. It's not that of a big thing for many people, except if you're a big fan of Mickey Mouse, of course. Now, my personal opinion is that Mickey Mouse is a complete douchebag. I mean, he's smart and he solves crimes and so on and whatnot, but still, he's kind of an a-hole. Because when you watch how the dude treats Donald, most of the time, his ego is, he's full of it. He has to be the person who's right, and he's also the person who thinks everybody else's opinion is wrong, and yada yada yada. But I'm mixing up with topics here. So Donald Duck has its own series of magazines in Finland. Always had ever since the 80s and 70s. And when you think about the Donald Duck universe, the Donald Duck, the whole city, the whole how the whole thing works, it all starts from Carl Barks. Carl Barks is in the old times when Finland had this thick books about Donald Duck and Mickey Mouse adventures. They had different writers and different artists doing the stuff, and you could always see the quality of the pictures. Whether it's Carl or somebody else doing the stuff. The coloring, of course, is made by somebody else. I'm not sure if Finland has their own coloring company, and they keep mixing up the colors of Huey, Dewey, and Louie. But I guess that's not the big thing. Sometimes I see some weird mistakes with the coloring. Like in Garfield, John says that, hey, you just ate the last green candy, and for some reason the coloring made is so that every candy is green. Now what's up with that? Didn't the guy read the script? I mean, it's only 3 panels, for crying out loud. But anyways, yes, when you look at the Carl Barks stories, and that's mine, thank you. Carl's stories, and you also watch how he draws them. It's there's lots of details. There's like huge amount of details that Carl sometimes does with the pictures, and sometimes you can even see that he does at least once in the comic strip panels, a huge one, something like the whole page or half page picture that has so many details, the coloring and the shadows of the whole thing. It's like you could compare it to some piece of art. And I'm sure there are lots of people who are talented writers and comic book artists and so on. But Carl wanted to take it to a completely different level. He drew them in such a interesting details, and well, you should check out the old pictures. You should check out the old comics books by Carl, and you'll probably understand. anyways, my thing is, Carl also made this Donald Duck character. Uh, Wait a minute, I'm not sure if he made them, but anyways, I'm sure that when he wrote the Donald Duck, the Donald Duck's character with the cartoons and what he had in the old pre-war and during the war things, they were comical, and he was full of bad tantrum and temperament and so on. But when there was a time that the Donald began to have its own now whatchamacallit. Wasn't meant to take that. Was supposed to have his own album of stuff, weekly comic book coming out. I think Carl had to make few changes because how much stuff you can basically just watch the guy having a bad temper. Well, maybe for quite a long time, it seems, because the guy is kind of hilarious. He's like any other guy, John Doe and John Smith, and just somebody who tries to live in this world and trying to get along and get a job. And the dude has like zillions of jobs of trying to just raise his family, or sometimes just himself. Anyways, I think he had to change his personality when they started adventuring with Scrooge McDuck and the three nephews. And in those, the nephews are they're smart. They have their Boy Scout book that has an answer to everything, which is like, say, what? You really know that stuff? How many freaking pages does that book even have? And they are resourceful, and they, do lots of co-op, and in the end they solve really weird mysteries, like finding the Atlantis or stuff like that. but anyways, my thing is that they had quite entertaining adventures, and they had to do a lot of lots of interesting stuff. And when they had this series of Ducktales coming out, it was in Finland, at least, one of the best Saturday morning cartoons that you could ever see on TV back then, at least. Well, they also had He-Man, which I liked really a lot, but I'll take this, thank you. And a little bit of donation. There you go. So the voice acting in Finland, they don't do the voice acting on top of the cartoons. People know that as dubs. Oh yeah, dubbing. Yeah, that's the word. And you could actually hear the original voices, and if you look back, the voice acting is really nice. I mean, it's really professional, really good, and if you're attached to the old school stuff, you'll probably won't ever get over that there's somebody else voice acting as Scrooge. And yes, the guy gets his names from the old whatever that the Christmas story is. You know, Scrooge being a Scrooge and cheapskates and so on. And ooh, nice Joker. And so yes, Scrooge is an old guy who's constantly, you know, at least in Carl Barks comics, he's in bad mood because, you know, the youth doesn't know any better, and people are soft, and making money is important, but having an adventure is also important, and what are the... Yep. Should have taken something else. Oh, hi, Mark. So. Oh yeah, where was I? Scrooge. The nephews, they're smart. Scrooge is smart also, full of adventure. And Scrooge is also the person who... Carl is what I meant to say. Carl is also the person who gave life to Scrooge McDuck, to his past, and wrote the start of what belongs to the life of Scrooge McDuck. And later we have the greatest Carl Barks fan called Don Rosa. Don is such a big fan of Carl that, you know, he continued the whole universe, the whole storyline. What goes on with Scrooge and his past, and I mean he made the whole book about, you know, Scrooge and his life, and it's incredible. It has the same type of details as the other Carl Barks stuff. Well, welcome to the stream, Nakikaski. Wait a minute. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right, but anyways, Scrooge. I think I broke my Sharona and my train of thought here, but maybe I'll remember what I was talking about. Scrooge, something Scrooge, something Dark Side. Yeah. Oh, hello, Matti. Welcome to the stream. I was talking about the Carl Barks and stuff. Anyways, Don Rosa, fan of his. Also, well, not a fan, but like his work. He has excellent drawings, and I like the details and the personality of people. It's like the ducks have in his drawings the same personality as the level of personality. Yeah, I'll use this one. The same. Oh, come on, give me a break. How many times do I have to fight you guys? Anyways, yes, Don Rose. Has the same kind of detail to the personality of the ducks as Carl also have. And when Carl and Don made personalities, they're just not stereotypical, you know, quacks. Pun made. Quacks of, you know, some archetypes that just flash on the screen so that you can get your paycheck, and that's it. No. Carl and Don really created personalities to these ducks, and you could also always see that they really had their own opinions and methods of doing stuff and so on. And huh. So what's my point? Oh yeah, so two good artists. And when the Ducktales cartoons came in the Saturday morning in Finland, it was absolutely entertaining. It had lots of nice adventures and so on. But one thing that really bothered me in the whole old Ducktales of the 90s and early 20s is that... Nah, I can't make it. Is that they always seem to exclude Donald from the whole thing. Because in the comics, you could always see it's the 5 people doing the adventure. There's Donald, there's Scrooge, and there are the nephews. And then sometimes they had some other characters also. But hey, in the... I guess... well, Donald did visit one episode. And he had like... Mary says she's always been more a Chip and Dale person. Yes. I do also like Chip and Dale. Especially... I think Chip is also one of these people who are full of themselves and could maybe learn a thing or two from being more humble and so on. But anyways, I think my favorite character there was the I can't really remember the names. I'm bad with names. The one who always fixed everything. I'm not sure if she wasn't a chipmunk. But anyways, who built the whole... Whoa. Who built the whole their flying gadget and everything. She was awesome. And the Fly was also awesome, even though the Fly didn't have any... barely had any dialogue. But anyways, DuckTales, in the comics, the 5 people were the main core characters who had the adventures and so on. And they excluded Donald away from all those adventures for some reason. I don't know why though. They had this submarine episode, and in that one he acted quite like an imbecile. And Donald wasn't really that of an imbecile in the comic adventures. He was also as resourceful as the others, but his only problem was that, you know, the Scrooge just didn't pay them enough. Something like $50 for an hour, and didn't even pay their foods or anything. Well, you know, freaking cheapskate. That's technically Scrooge in a nutshell. But instead, they had different characters, new characters in the whole DuckTales universe. They had Gizmo Duck. Some people didn't like it. I myself thought it was totally cool that they had superhero, but some people didn't think that DuckTales or the Duck universe would need more superheroes, because we all already have Nightwing. Of course, we have Darkwing Duck, who kind of like belongs to the same universe, I guess. But also, hold on, second floor. Yeah, I'll just hit here. But Nightwing, I'm not... No, it was the Phantom. The Phantom was the name. I'm not sure if I've ever seen the Phantom. No, I actually think that I haven't ever seen the Phantom in the DuckTales universe. because they had Gizmo Duck, which is such a shame because I've always thought that Donald is part of the minority because people always cheer for people's always cheer for Mickey Mouse, and you know, I still think Mickey is a sort of a douchebag, and I really love that that Donald Duck had this secret identity of the Phantom, and he was really good at being a super whatchamacallit. Green Bomb, what do you mean Gizmo Duck is not new? What I tried to mean is that I didn't see Gizmo Duck in the comics, the comic books, before the whole DuckTales story came out. That was my point. Well, anyways, you know, the old DuckTales had these characters of... Oh yeah, now I remember. Here's my Atom Room. Oh, yay. And yeah, they had this some person, a kid from the Stone Age, and also some a genie from the bottle who turned out to be just a kid, I think. Oh yes, Green Bomb says he was in the comics and the Darkwing Duck cartoon and the DuckTales. Yes. Yeah. Moving on. Yes, Newt appeared after the DuckTales. So, anyways, a whole lot new characters, and they didn't have like Gyro. Gyro is this guy who has lots of inventions and also built the whole Gizmo Duck thing, and you had to say what's this what was the secret password? Blatherskite or something like that. That's not the main point. The main point is that they had so many new characters in the whole DuckTales that I wasn't that sure how excited I would be about the whole thing. I mean, I wasn't excited about the Stone Age kid. I wasn't that excited about the X-Genie. They didn't really have that much of a personality or give anything new to the whole series. Gizmo Duck, instead, you know, he has two personalities, alter egos, that is. A superhero who worked as the bodyguard and the guy who makes sure that nobody steals money from the whole money thing. And also he was an accountant, I think, because his special skill was that with just a glance he could tell how many items the thing contained, which is like an amazing superpower, I guess. You just take a glimpse at the storage facility and you could just tell what's how much stuff, how many toothbrushes you would have there in the storage. Huh. Guess that makes the inventory calculation much easier. But that's the thing what he did before working for Scrooge. He counted the amount of peanuts in a jar, and his partner just put more or took away the peanuts from the jar, and he really needed a new job. I'm losing my point here. My point is that DuckTales was a colorful story set that came every Saturday, and lots of personalities and lots of adventures and so on. And this freaking song that nobody can get out of their head once it gets rolling. You know, now that I have more viewers online, I could just say dun 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 dun. Dun. Life is like a yeah, whatever. Ducktales, woo! Although I do remember that Chip and Dale's theme song was also very, very catchy. You know, sometimes some crimes go slipping through the cracks, but these two gumshoes are picking up the slack. There's no case too big, no case too small. 'Cause if you need help, just call Chip and Dale. Rescue Ranger, Chip and Dale, they're the Rangers. Someone else, something about the clues, and something. Chip and Dale. Oh, the youth. Anyways, let's not make the whole stream about me singing old Disney cartoons, shall we? Darkwing Duck. My point is that, did you guys know that there is a whole reboot, a new Ducktales out? Yes, there is. I've seen one episode of it, and they have. I think it gave me a little small goosebumps and so on. But they had the old theme song modernized, and dang, that I think some people might not like it, but I think it was awesome that they kept the old theme song for, you know, the sake of nostalgia, and they kind of like bought some of the they bought in the audience with the old nostalgia. And I know that they're making a whole reboot thing so that it's they have something new for people to watch. And in the first episode, you could see so many Easter eggs as a tribute for Carl Barks. They had this one of his famous paintings of Scrooge, you know, posing on top of the money hill, leaning to his walking stick cane thingy, and if you have seen any of the Carl's Carl's work, you definitely recognize it. And oh gee, but there are some other new things too. Hope. Hold on. Green Bomb says David Tennant is in it. Can never watch it. And Green Bomb says David Tennant is the voice of Scrooge McDuck. It's weird. It's weird. It's we all have this thing that we have. Was it Alan or whatever? But you know, the old voice of Scrooge that everybody has gotten used to, and it's just weird hearing this new voice. But I could. I think I could. I did pass the whole. Dang it. I could let it go. It didn't bother me that much. I don't know who this David is, but he it wasn't it didn't bother me so much that I couldn't let it go. Also, the voices of Huey, Dewey, Louie, they do sound like teenagers because they are teenagers. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. And that didn't bother me at all. What semi bothered me is that Donald Duck had this same voice as he had ever since the the beginning of age of the old Hanna-Barbera, not Hanna-Barbera, Williams whatever thingy about Donald. Nobody ever understands what Donald says, and because he's always like quack 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 quack, and in this you okay, dude? It seemed like one of these worms had a stroke or something like that. Anyways, in the new DuckTales, Donald is in a bigger role, which I like because in the comics it always has been those 5 people making their doing all the adventure, and now that they're together adventuring again, it's so cool. And it seems like they also added the mystery of Donald Duck's ex-fiance or something like that. Old, no, wait a minute. It's Donald's sister. Yes, they brought up Donald's sister, which is like Huey, Dewey's, and Louie's mom, and that's an interesting twist that is gonna happen to the whole DuckTale things. What else is new is that they had this, again, I'm bad with names, but they had this girl character. Hold on. This is bothering me so much that I have to make some Googling. Okay, Green. Mary asked if I have watched Jessica Jones. David Tennant is Kilgrave. Oh, okay, that guy. David Tennant was the 10th Doctor in Doctor Who, and also was Zebediah Kilgrave in Jessica. Okay, now I understand your thing. Okay. Yes, I've watched few episodes of Jessica Jones. I'm supposed to watch them all at some point so that I can start watching Defenders. But hey, hold on, DuckTales 2017. Can I have the cast, please? The cast. There's the cast. Mrs. Beakley and Webby Wonderquack. Webby, where's my game? Where's my chat? There's my chat. And where's my game? Still, where's my game? Where's my game? Where's my game? There's my game. Okay. Greenbaum says he's only never ever seen the boy's mom as a child in Don Rose comics. Oh yeah, I only saw a small part of it also. But anyways, Webby. In the old DuckTales, Webby was just a side character hugging a doll and getting into trouble and so on. But I like Webby in this new series. She's also very resourceful and also has like full of energy and girl power and so on. But which they also made the nephews acting like bunch of idiots, which is kind of weird because in the comics they were these super Boy Scouts, also full of energy and really resourceful and always looking up to the answers in the the whole Boy Scout book that contains the freaking answer to everything. So interesting. They technically well, literally solved every freaking mystery that they needed to with that freaking book. But I guess now that they removed the book from the whole thing, they actually have to resolve with all the mysteries with their wits, which is just fine. Creates conflicts to the whole mystery thing and whatnot and whatever. But my thing is that Mrs. Beagley, who's not the secretary, who's the housekeeper for Scrooge, is also this strong personality who takes care of Webby, and Webby constantly is admiring Scrooge from, you know, the old adventures, and she's a real big fangirl, and which is true. Scrooge used to be a big thing and still is. Scrooge is like, he gets bitter that the boys who admire him at first, but later notice that you're just a big a quack, and no, you don't. We don't think we admire you so much as we wanted to, because you're just a nobody. You're not important anymore, and you belong to the past, and yada yada yada. So Scrooge gets excited about the whole thing, and he's into adventuring again. Of course, he has to go adventuring with Donald and you know, the old guys, the old five, and now that it's a new Ducktales, they also had Webby in it, which made Mrs. Beagley absolutely worried, but in the end she's completely fine with it, because she believes that Scrooge can definitely take care of those kids. Well, I wouldn't be so sure that they are totally in safe hands, considering that they're trying to solve the mystery of Atlantis and escaping some criminals and mobs and what other terrorist organizations and you know, stuff. Now, anyways, welcome to the stream, EB. And in the overall, based on that one episode of Ducktales, I think I haven't decided yet how much I like it. I do know that I like the new theme song, like I said, and I do know that they have quite many things right, and some things bothered me a bit, like that whatchamacallit, the voice of Donald. But I guess Donald having that voice is part of the thing. He is supposed to have this weird voice. Yes, Ducktales, EB, Ducktales. Talking about this new Ducktales. Yes, I guess it's supposed to be a thing that you can barely make out what Donald is talking about. But, huh? But I think it might be that it's the only problem that I have with the whole series. I like the new girl power that they brought to the whole thing. I also like how much DuckTales Trump, you ask, EB? No, I don't know anything about DuckTales Trump. I was saying, yes, I like the where it's going. with the Ducktales. I like that they now have the mystery of the mystery of where's Mother and who is she, and will they ever find her? And of course they're gonna find her at some point, but and also, huh? Oh, it's the modem. Okay. And also, I like the strong female characters that they brought to the whole series, and that basically every character, they're not just bunch of exploits in the whole story plot that you can use, except maybe in the first episode, the nephews. But as the episodes go forward, I believe they'll advance it quite well, and the script might get some interesting twists and so on. And I'm really intrigued to see the whole thing in the future and see how it goes. Oh, thank you, EB. You're actually saying I'm getting better at the game, huh? That's that's very polite, EB. That's a nice thing to say, is what I meant to say. And if some people are asking that where the hell have I been? Oh, fudge. Where the hell have I been? I've been on sick leave for 2 weeks, and basically I was supposed to do some streams, but the medication I had didn't make it so possible that I could, make streams in such energetic way as I'm supposed to. I wasn't even sure today how energetic I was, but I guess when I got the positive news that I got to be part of the a whole YouTube Finland group thingy, it kind of boosted my morale a bit, so I could make this short one. And besides, I wanted to talk about this whole Ducktales thing, and I really think that the new generation that is gonna watch the whole Ducktales, but are still they don't know what's the thing with the whole thing. I would suggest those people to check out the old Ducktales first, and the old Carl Barks comics, and then get into the interesting world of Ducktales. And I'm sure they'll do quite well with this new one. And I'm sure that next time I'll watch an episode of Ducktales again, I'll get the freaking goosebumps from the new theme song and so on. Hold on. EB is asking, is my YouTube group like a cult? No. I don't think so. I think it's this YouTube group thingy is like the biggest YouTube group in the Scandinavia. Dang it. Yeah, just pick it up so that doesn't appear. Do I have a battery? No. So what else can I say about Ducktales before my character dies or something like that? Well, some of the stories and adventures in Ducktales follow some of the Carl Barks adventures. and of course they have been modified to fit the whole Ducktales storyline. And in the old Ducktales, there wasn't any continuity. Every single episode was counted as their own separate episode, except that sometimes they did talk about some continuity thing when it's congrats my girl is something you want to say, Butters. I was saying, continuity when it came to characters, like having this Gizmo duck. Can't remember his own real name though, and I hope they'll bring up Gyro in these episodes more, because I think Gyro has always been an interesting character, and he appeared in the old Ducktales way too little, and he appears in the whole comics of the Ducktales universe way too little also. And let's just, hope for the best with the whole Ducktales. Ooh. So anyways, this was this stream, and remember to click the like button, because it gives shows me more views, and people can see my stream more and videos more, and hit the share button so that you can show these awesome videos for other people in your Facebook or whatnot. And you can also join me in my Facebook page so that you can get updates of when I'm going to stream, or what's going on with the channel and life and so on, or random cats, and follow on Twitter, because I cannot access Facebook all the time, and Twitter is just easy, and click this subscription button so that you my channel gets more people, and maybe in 10 years I'll get so many followers that I can actually get paid from this whole thing. And click the bell button so that you get notified from all my Sharona and videos and streams and so on, and what else. Oh, and check out the Patreon page also, and support this whole channel and its content and so on, which sums is up to the whole ending of my way too long video, short one. I said it's still less than an hour, people. So it's like, hit the bell, hit sub, hit the share, hit the like, and check out the Patreon, Facebook, Twitter thing. And I'll see you people next time, which is, I don't know, tomorrow, today, something. I don't know. I'm on a sick leave. I can do more YouTube videos. Thanks for that. And I'll see you next time. Where's my... There it is. Goodbye.